So maybe just very briefly for those that don't know me yet and are wondering who is this man leading this meditation and where's Cynthia? So my name is Rick. I've been working together with Cynthia and our team for the past 3.5 years, and we rotate in hosting the full moon. Sometimes Cynthia is here, sometimes somebody else is here. Today it's me. So just for you to know and understand that. So it is time for the breakout groups, and the prompt for the breakout groups are two. Let me just pull them up here. And this is inspired by the work of Joanna Macy. Probably most of you know. It's a spiral of the work that reconnects. We're not able to do the complete spiral today, obviously, but I was just inspired to bring some of her open sentences, so some of her prompts to reflect on here for us to drop in, and as a way of to connect with each other and to hear each other's hearts, so that we can bring our individual hearts and a collective heart into the meditation a little bit later. And I will write those prompts when you're in the breakout group as well, so it will show up in your screen, but just to name them already so that you can kind of just sit with it for a little bit. So the first round of sharing is a gratitude one with the prompt, some things I love about being alive on the planet, on Earth, are some things I truly love about being alive on Earth are. So that's the first prompt that you can share around in your small group. And the second prompt I will write, and you'll receive that when you're in your group, because otherwise you may be thinking too much about the prompts before. So this is just the first prompt to share about, and the second prompt will come when you are in your group. So you'll be with three people total, you included. For the first round, there will be 2 minutes for each person to share. I'll send little notes when it's time to pass on the talking piece. And then there's a second round of sharing with the other prompt. Again, 2 minutes each. So you'll be in the group for about 15 minutes total. Then we come back here in the big group. There will be some space to share your experience here with our big group, with the whole community here that's present. And then we'll move into meditation, invoking all the your treasure vase locations. And then we'll have some sharing space after the meditation as well to offer further reflections and prayers. And we'll finish uh, at half of the next hour, whatever time that is for you. Are there any questions at this point, or are we good to go? Okay. So let me set up the breakout rooms. Okay. So I'm going to create them. You should see a little sign in your screen where you can click on join. If you don't feel like joining a breakout room, that's absolutely fine. You just don't join and you just stay here in the big space, and you can remain in silence here. All right. Enjoy. Um, Let me see. I see that there will be two groups of two. Let me see if I can do that differently. Okay, one group of four, other groups of three. So the group of four, please hold your time yourself. When I say switch, that's for the group of three. If you need a little time adjustment there, feel free to go with that yourself. All right, blessings. Here we go. Hey, welcome back. Just waiting for others to return. Okay, I think it looks like all of us are here. So I hope that everyone who wanted to be in a breakout group was actually in a breakout group, and that it was a supportive experience of community and sharing. So I have a couple of minutes to just hear back from you in the bigger group. If there's anything you wish to bring forward from what was shared in the small group, or how you experienced a small group, or anything you came away from, perhaps anything that's present for you to carry with you as intention, as a prayer and a meditation that we're entering into soon. Whatever it is that you'd like to share with the big group, feel free to raise your hand and speak up. Olivia, please.
Hi, everyone. Yeah, I really love that. I love having the smaller, intimate group to talk with. I just wanted to say I found it very supportive. So thank you.
Great. Thank you. Karen.
Well, I just want to say that seeing Olivia here, I just had a wonderful, remarkable conversation with someone who who came here because of an invitation, Olivia, that you made to her some time ago, Judy Schmidt. And she and I already have this sense that we absolutely need to connect. And I just got through sending her my email so that we could do that. And I told her about the Kairos vase. And it was such a great example of Kairos time that I just came home, happened to get on. She was alone in the room, unable to say, I'm alone, I'm alone. I pop up, and it's such an example of Kairos time. So just want to honor all of that and honor your friend and honor that you invited her, Olivia.
Beautiful. Thank you, Karen. Martha. Oh, you were actually unmuted. You just muted yourself.
Am I am I on now?
Good. Yes.
Thank you. Um, I found that very supportive and very nourishing, and I am so grateful for our collective Earth Treasure Vase, like-minded community of really inspiring and conscious and interesting people from all over the world. It's an expansively nourishing and um, hopeful experience. So thank you for hosting it and setting it up, Rick, and to my small group members and everyone. Just I add it to my list of things I'm grateful for while being alive on this earth.
Beautiful. Good to hear. Heidi.
I just felt the deep intimacy in connecting around the earth, in a place of gratitude for the earth, and also what disturbs us about what's happening, that they both created a sense of love and intimacy in a way that was expansive, as Milady Martha actually spoke about. So, in that, I feel the impulse of the intimacy and the expanse, which is the impulse of life. So, I'm very grateful to feel that. Thank
Mm-hmm.
you.
Mm-hmm. You're speaking exactly to the intention for doing it this way. So I'm glad It's been felt. Hmm. Anyone else? Right.
Well, I'll just join with Heidi with that sense of deep intimacy and just to say how amazing it is that we could reach that in such a short time and on these screens. So it was very, very valuable. And I'm grateful and grateful to have met Sahaj, who I didn't know. So thank you, Rick.
Mm. Mhm. Are there any specific concerns that want to be spoken before we go into meditation? Just to present some of those in a brief, succinct way. Or gratitudes are welcome too. Or maybe the silence points to the readiness for meditation.
I'm just going to mention that in that silence, there's a frog, a tree frog that is chirping. And I want to bring the tree frog into the silence since it was talking. So I'm letting that join in.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful. Well, I'll lead us into meditation. After meditation, we'll still have about 10, 15 minutes for further sharing if anything else has come alive. Um, and as a lead into the meditation, I have a poem here that's coming from Thich Nhat Hanh, from his poetry collected poems book called "Call Me by My True Names," the collected poems of Thich Nhat Hanh. And I opened it this morning on the page Full Moon Festival. So this poem is called Full Moon Festival. And after that, I just lead straight into the meditation. What will happen when form collides with emptiness? And what will happen when perception enters non-perception? Come here with me, friend. Let's watch together. Do you see the two clowns, life and death, setting up a play on a stage? Here comes autumn. The leaves are ripe. Let the leaves fly. A festival of colors, yellow, red. The branches have held on to the leaves during spring and summer, and this morning they let them go. Flags and lanterns are displayed. Everyone is here at the Full Moon Festival. Friend, what are you waiting for? The bright moon shines above us. There are no clouds tonight. Why bother to ask about lamps and fire? Why talk about cooking dinner? Who is searching and who is finding? Let us just enjoy. Let us just enjoy the moon all night. Let us just enjoy the moon all night. So for the meditation, you can either have your video on or off. Both is absolutely welcome and fine. The meditation will take about 25 minutes. So let's begin by just becoming aware of our bodies, just making ourselves comfortable to sit, to be present for 25 minutes. Perhaps you even want to lie down or recline. Just however you feel you can enter into a deeper space. Just becoming aware of our breathing. In, out, deep, slow. Feeling your body relax. Feeling the earth underneath you, holding you. Bring a sense of stability, calm. Just imagine that your body has roots that can extend down into the core, into the center of the earth. And just with your in-breath and out-breath, naturally, without effort, you feel that your root connection to the earth is bringing up the nourishing energies and life force of the Mother Earth, Pachamama, Gaia. And she offers it all freely, generously to you. And just allow yourself to sink into that, letting thoughts of past, concerns for future, just evaporate. And entering into a communion with the stabilizing, nourishing energies of Earth. And while you're rooting and grounding effortlessly, you open up as well to the light from above, feeling the warmth from the sun, the moon, the stars. Feeling ourselves rooting and expanding. Rooting below with Earth, expanding with vast energies of cosmos. Present in this moment with ourselves and with the community that is gathered here. Feel your relationship to the soils, the stones, the waterways, the forests, flowers, the communities of life that call the habitat where you are their home, just in the same way as you call this habitat where you are home. And just feeling the kinship that you share with the elemental beings. There's actually no thing as separation. And in this moment, while you're attuning to all that in this special place, let's acknowledge the ones who've come before, the ancestors of the original indigenous peoples of the lands that we inhabit. We've been in sacred relationship with our lands for countless generations. And let us as well acknowledge the future ancestors of this land who will continue to hold this land as sacred for hopefully countless generations to come. And let's humbly invite all of them, past, present, and future, to bless us and our practice. Let's take a moment for that. Just deepening your breath naturally while we call upon all of our sources of inspiration, our own blood ancestors, our own spiritual ancestors, our own land ancestors and elders, teachers, guides, lineage masters, Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, and wisdom beings that we feel connected to. And we invite them all to be present with us here now. And we invite their blessings to enter you and everyone who's present for this meditation. in this specific moment, but as well through the recording. And we receive the blessing of their love, their support, their guidance, their healing, their clarity, their clear seeing. And this blessing enters you and just sense the love and caring coming all the way into your deepest heart of hearts, and breathe it in. And with your out breath, send the love to everyone who's present here in this circle. Breathing in, receiving the love that's being sent. And just being aware as well of any subtle inhibitions or blockages that may be there to receive. And just breathe into that and see if you can a little bit more fully open to receive the energies, the love, the blessings. And then with your out breath, you send it to the circle. Breathing in, receiving, like ebb and flow of the tides, washing blessings amongst us present in the circle. Just gently including as well your friends, family, community, and all those who this practice may serve. And our circle gradually grows from our home, our neighborhood, bioregion, country, and continent to include all beings in all places. And this just happens naturally, no effort, feeling a sense of embrace with the whole planet, feeling love, feeling connection, feeling intimacy, feeling the truth, the reality of interbeing, as Thich Nhat Hanh would call it. With this feeling of rootedness below, the expansiveness above, and waves of love and blessing flowing from your heart, let's turn our intention, our awareness to those who are suffering. The places where there's war, poverty, disease, pollution, droughts, floods, fires, wherever there is a true need for healing. And just breathe in this suffering, not to take it on, but to transmute it. And on the out breath, send our love and caring to relieve the suffering of the earth, her people, and of all life, all around the planet. So breathing in, taking in the suffering for transmutation, for alchemy, and then sending out the love and care to relieve the suffering. And through that sending out our love and care, we can imagine that where there's hunger, great nourishing gardens begin to grow. Where there's thirst, fresh clean waterways spring up. Where there are unhoused, safe shelters are built. Where there's war and conflict, choirs of peace echo in the hills. Where there is sickness, vital health is celebrated. And aware of where the earth is unstable, in danger, or out of balance in any way, we can imagine a restoration of balanced power, bringing protection and regeneration. As you hear a gentle song of the land, singing of harmony, of balance, restoration, and healing. And as we hold this glowing, healing, radiant, rebalanced vision of Mother Earth, the radiant blue-green planet we call home, we call into our presence, we call into the center of our circle here, the presence of the earth treasure vases that have been planted or are in the process of being planted all around the world. And together we pour our love, we pour our caring in the form of light into each and every little clay pot that is buried in the body of Mother Earth. And we fill each vessel with our deepest prayers and blessings for healing. And by doing that, imagine that each earth treasure vase radiates light in every direction, sending healing and protective energies wherever it's needed, in whatever form it's needed, through its own intelligence, its own deep knowing. And see the light like a rainbow streaming forth from each of the vases, white, yellow, red, blue, green, and all the colors in between. Breathing it in and breathing it out, allow the feeling of caring and compassion in your deep heart to grow. And send that love out in the form of light to all the people, animals, plants, and places that are connected to the Earth Treasure Vases, needing healing and protection in the past, present, and future. And just continue that visualization while we're calling in all of the Earth Treasure Vases. Beginning at the center of the Earth Treasure Vase Global Healing Mandala in a cave above Los Alamos National Laboratory in New Mexico, the birthplace of the atomic bomb. To the north at the source of the Rio Grande River in Creede, Colorado. To the south at the mouth of the Rio Grande at the Gulf of Mexico. To the east on top of Mount Baldy above Santa Fe. And to the west on Mount Chicoma, known as Tsikumu to the Tewa people of New Mexico, the custodians of the sacred lands where this mandala began. And having established the center and the four directions, see the mandala growing in every direction. To the Indian Point Nuclear Reservation on the Hudson River in New York, to the Headwaters Old Growth Redwood Forest in Northern California, the Punta Cometa on the coast of Oaxaca, Mexico, Vilcabamba, Ecuador, Jakova, Kosovo, the Lawrence Laboratory at the University of California, Berkeley, the Daudam Forest on the border of Thailand and Burma, the village of Ein Kerem in Israel, Palestine, Hiroshima, Japan, Inwood Park above New York City after 9/11, the Biosphere 2 in Oracle, Arizona, the Martin Luther King Freedom Center in Oakland, California, the source of the Ganges in India, the source of the Amazon in Peru, the Southern Pacific Ocean 93 feet down in Agum Atoll, the Trobriand Islands, Papua New Guinea, the Arctic Circle, Alaska, the Kogi lands of the Sierra Nevada de Santa Marta in Colombia, Tilawoyan Village, Lofa County, Vonjama District, Liberia, West Africa, the Blyde River Canyon, Limpopo Province, South Africa, the Giza Plateau in Egypt, Haleakala, Maui, Hawaii, the Itombwe Forest, South Kivu Province, Democratic Republic of Congo, Avery, England, Bindaluk, Jawon Country, Katrin, Northern Territory, Australia, to Gobernmang, Arnhem Land, Australia, the Mackenzie King Park, Ottawa River Valley, Ottawa Gatineau, Canada, the original garden in Findhorn, Scotland, the Great Stupa of Bodhanath in Kathmandu, Nepal, the Flint Hills of Kansas in the heartland of North America, the Santa Cruz Mountains near Silicon Valley, California, the Valles Caldera of northern New Mexico, Punalulu, Bungos, the Kimberleys in Australia, the village of Utjavik at the edge of the sea in northernmost Arctic Alaska, the Hanford Nuclear Reservation on the shores of the Columbia River in the state of Washington, Mount Ryosan above Fukushima, Japan, back to where it all began at the cave hermitage of Charak, Nepal, to Margibi County, Liberia, in the base of an old ironbark tree on Ditchell Mountain in the Budawang wilderness of Walbunja Country, Juan Nation, southeastern Australia, and to our root temple, Tolu Tarling Monastery in Nepal, the Munzur Valley in Turkey, Serpent Mound, Ohio, the Ashaninka spiritual portal, Campo do Rio Amonea, indigenous land in Acre, Brazilian Amazon, bordering Peru, the Border Peace School, Cherwon, the demilitarized zone between North and South Korea, in Nabusimake, Arwaka territory in Colombia, in Akaroa, Te Waiponamu, the South Island, on Aotearoa, New Zealand, on Mount Parnassus above Delphi in Greece, Pian Grande di Castelluccio of the Sibillini Mountains, Umbria, Italy, in Wea-Witchin facing the Windcates Park, North Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada, in a Sylvan Wood near a creek that flows into the Potomac River in Washington, D.C., in eastern Tibet, next to a high-altitude turquoise lake, Fontaine Filisem, Happy Well, flowing by a creek adjacent to a chapel in the village of Heldsem, Islek, Luxembourg, and in the woods embracing Auschwitz-Birkenau, Poland. To the Vase in Antarctica, the Isle of Lewis in the Outer Hebrides, Scotland, the Saugatuck Dunes on Lake Michigan in the United States, to the Highwood Valley in the Rocky Mountains in Alberta, Canada, southeastern US Turtle Island, Chaconagay, Tennessee, a vase called Coronama planted on the shores of Lake Washington in Kirkland, Washington, near the Life Care Center where COVID began in the US. In the Permian Basin, New Mexico, along Sweetwater Creek at the base of Marble Mountain in Danby, Vermont, to the vase called Cetacea in Provincetown, Cape Cod, Massachusetts, honoring the wisdom and persistence of our whale relatives. To the vase dedicated to the return of the salmon buried on the north coast of the Olympic Peninsula in Washington State, and the vase in southwestern Australia. Let's also include in our awareness the vases that are being stewarded right now, to the Bering Strait, Chile, the Altai Mountains in Russia, for healing racism in the United States, to Bamyan in Afghanistan, to southern India, to Palestine, Spain, Taos in northern New Mexico, to the Little Shell Tribal Territory in Montana, to the Triple Divide Peak on Turtle Island, a vase dedicated to Kairos time, a vase dedicated to the Paramo ecosystem of Colombia for the restoration of the waters of the world, for the Big Sur region, a vase to the Andes Mountains, a vase to Ukraine, and a vase to Hungary. Let's take a deep, slow in breath. And a deep, slow out breath. Just feeling all those locations that we've just invoked. And imagine all that's needed to relieve the suffering of those places. And other places can be seen as light radiating out from each of the Earth Treasure vases all around the planet. And it radiates in every direction. Imagine this healing light flowing out from the vases, filling the whole global Earth Treasure Vase mandala with the powerful energies of our love and care. And this healing force travels through the songlines and meridians of the earth, flowing into each location on the global mandala. And the mandala is a web of light embracing the planet. The light flows back and forth like waves between your heart and the heart of the Earth Treasure Vases. The Earth Treasure Vases are being energized, while you are being energized yourself too. Vitality and brilliance arises in that light. And just see the light flowing out to the whole area and the sphere of influence of each of the Earth Treasure Vases. And just bring all of that light into one pointed concentration. It's a potent beam of light. And we focus, we concentrate that pointed beam of light fully on bringing healing, protection, peace, harmony, and justice to the entire planet. For the past, present, future, for all time. And feel the intention that we carry here with our focus, activating the spiritual intelligence of the entire global Earth Treasure Vase mandala. Touching each and every being that's connected to those locations deeply, including yourself. And we imagine together that the healing is accomplished and the vitality of the earth is completely restored. Let's just rest in the silence for a minute here. Just allow ourselves to drop into the silence, into the stillness. And just recognizing the great interconnected web that's life, that we are part of. Life on Earth. Let's give thanks in our own way for this time we have together, this precious sacred time of prayer around the full moon of November. To gather our intentions, to speak our gratitudes, to speak our concerns, and to as well receive and listen to other members of this community, other brothers and sisters. And pray that the compassion and peace, that's our true nature, may bring freedom, happiness, liberation, healing to the earth, to all beings, to those close, to those far. And with another deep, slow in-breath, deep, slow out-breath, return to our bodies, maybe touching our bodies to return and feel grounded here in our own place, in our own seat. Feeling our feet on the ground, maybe wiggling our toes, gently opening our eyes. And returning to circle if you can and if you're willing with your camera on, so we can be in community in that way. And let me invite the sound of the bell to bring it in for a more formal close as well. So the music in the meditation is from our dear brother in Australia, Julian Silburn.